You installed your amplifier, and now you're ready for the final step to tune it, set it up, maximize its performance, and just ensure everything's working correctly. I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it today, and at the same time, I'm going to put this debate, because if you've been searching on the internet, you're probably seeing there's 2 ways to do it, and one is with a multimeter, and one's with an oscilloscope. And so first off, I'm going to use the multimeter, set it up, then I'm going to do the oscilloscope, and we're going to compare and see which ones work the best. As an extra bonus, if you go down to the pinned comment below, you're going to see my free amplifier guide. And what this is it'll give you a full run through. It's 4 pages on how to set an amplifier. If you're just like me, I like to confirm my numbers and make sure everything's right, and you can follow along exactly how I did it. If you downloaded my previous version of the amp tuning guide, now I've added 4 channels of power. Before I only had 1, so now I have 4 channels plus a subwoofer, giving you more room to work. In this application, I'm using the Zapco HB501D amplifier, which is 250 watts at 4 ohms or 500 times 1 at 2 ohms. In my application, I'm using it in 2 ohms. I'm going to put the math right up here. For 500 watts at 2 ohms, I go 500 watts times 2, square root it, and that gives me a number of 31.6. Essentially, let's call it 31.5. Target when using the multimeter, as stated, the voltage I'm trying to hit is 31.6. And so as you can see here, you do the wattage you want times the impedance equals an AC voltage, and that's square rooted. We're going to give an example of that right now. This amplifier, I want 500 watts at 2 ohms. So I go square root 500 times 2 equals 31.62 volts. So on our sheet, you would put 500 watts times 2 equals 3162. You might as well just call it 31.5 or 32. Now you know our target voltage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the amplifier gain up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here, and you'll see the side of the amplifier, and you'll see everything is set to 0. And what I mean by that is I set all the crossovers are off, any kind of gain control is all the way turned to the left, and also any bass boost, anything is turned off. What I'm going to do is I go to kicker.com, and I'm going to go to their test section, and you'll see it says amplifier gains, and I'll show you a web address right here. Download 50 hertz at 0 dB. Now that you downloaded the file, all I do is download it, hit play on my computer, and set the volume to 90%. So as you can see right now, it's at 0 voltage. I zoom in and I'll show you the setting. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to go through this gain, and we're going to set it, remember that number was 31.6 volts AC. Now it's way too high, so we're going to turn it down. Now keep in mind that why I have it all set here is you can see I have 1 probe on the negative, 1 probe on the positive, and obviously I have power ground and turn on, and this is my switch for a turn on. Our target voltage was 31, so now I'm turning the gain up, and I'm going to go 31. It's finicky, it's close, it's close, it's close. There we go. Notice I have a lightning bolt here. My meter might be detecting some distortion, but this is the one beautiful thing that we're going to check with oscilloscope to find out if I can get a little bit more out of this amplifier without distorting. And we're going to find out is by setting it by the multimeter, let's find out if it's distorting as well. So what I'm going to do now for step 2 is we're going to add the oscilloscope onto the same probes that I was testing on the multimeter to keep everything the same and keep everything even keel. Now you'll see a picture right next to me, and you'll see how I have it hooked up. Now that being said, a wave for this, we don't have to do the numbers the same. We're not looking for a number. We're looking for a crest, and it's a wavy line. And we want to have this wavy line fairly smooth. And so we're going to zoom in, and I'm going to show you the differences below on when it's clipping. So as we're running through this meter, I don't set it to auto. I use it for a little bit. I hit auto, and it sets up, and it goes through and it shows us the wave. But as you're going to see from the sidebar, is that you're going to see the waves are too big for the screen because it's a small screen. I'm going to adjust it, and you're going to see me go to the blue arrow, and I'm going to bring these crests down where I can see it. So what happens as it goes up the crest, as you'll see in the diagram, The top part is you want it to see nice and smooth. You don't want to see it breaking up, and you don't want to see it jagged or square. Now, we're going to exaggerate it right now, so I'm going to exaggerate it. This is when I'm turning it up and down. Watch me go way up. See how it gets all distorted there? That's exactly what I mean by distorted. So we're going to give it a turn. See, it's getting a little right about there. And you'll see how it goes all square. And you'll see it actually starts to slide off like this and get all squiggly. That's indicating that it's clipping. In this instance right now, guys, it's at 40 volts. Okay, so I'm already overpowering where I want it to be, but I'm just trying to give you some reference on this oscilloscope. So now I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it down, down, right there. See how it starts to break up? Right there, it breaks up. So I'm going to go back it off a little bit, bring it right there. And now we're done. It's just that easy with an oscilloscope. Now though, are we wondering how much the value is from where I set it up on the multimeter to where I set it up on the oscilloscope? Now, what do you think it is? I would love to hear your comments below if you think the multimeter or the oscilloscope is better in this application. So as we said, we went from here, and you saw it. It's pretty, it's a little bit, but it's pretty good. It's undistorted signal. 3305. So it is roughly 1.5 volts difference. Now, we do the math on that, and it is not going to be a lot. What have we gained by it? Let's talk about the pros and cons of doing this, all right? Now, guys, we have to stop this whole thing for a second. Now, 1.5 volts. Remember, 31.6 to 33. Let's do the math. It blew me away too. I did not expect this blown out of the water. So, look, I'm going to go here. And what it is if I use 33 as my end and I work it backwards, that means I'm actually 544.5 watts. That is roughly 8.5% more power with no distortion. Mind blown. Everything changed. I will admit, using the math, what's 1.5 volts? Now, 8.5% more power? Woo! For free? For a tool that's less than 40 bucks? Oscilloscope wins. We know now that the amplifier can produce the wattage we wanted. I think it's a fair assessment on both ways, multimeter or oscilloscope. I will admit with the multimeter, you don't know if it's clipping. You don't know if it's distorting. You don't know. But this is why you try and calculate it to figure it out. We did see the amplifier did go way over 40 volts, but we knew it was clipping. Now with the oscilloscope, you get a little bit of the insurance. Okay, you get the insurance of knowing it is not clipping or sending distortion or square waves down to your speakers. When this is a small amplifier, and we just showed the difference was less than, I'm going to bet I'll do the math and I'll put it next to me in a second. And let's not forget, more power. Now, to do a 3 dB louder is the difference between me talking like this and talking like this. That's doubling the power. What's the pros and the cons? I think the multimeter is pretty good. I do. But if you're doing lots of power, and I mean lots of power, over 1,000 watts, 2,000 watts, maybe the little oscilloscope is the way to go. Now, this oscilloscope is less than $40. It's why I chose this one, and I will have a link down below for you. Now, I have a Fluke meter, and this one is over $100. And I am talking USD, guys. So keep this in mind. So the oscilloscope is actually less money than the multimeter, but the multimeter will be used for other things. So let's run down the list. Multimeter, multi-use. It did work for AC. I can use it for DC for checking the battery voltage, and I can check grounds. So there's about 4 good things that it can do. Oscilloscope. In one way, I think the multimeter is a better way to go because it has more uses, but the oscilloscope gives you better insurance. So if you enjoyed this video, if you go right about here, I have another one about unlocking the bass performance out of your amplifier even further, and you can go into a deep dive into the weeds with me to get more performance, better bass, and more output out of your stereo.